Zhenya and this is Zhenya's kitchen. Today we're having a very special treat. I have been promising this to Eric for a couple months and I've been delaying it. I'm talking about Russian Pirozhki, which is dough that's usually fried or baked that we're gonna make from scratch. And I don't really like dough, but we're gonna try our best today. And we're gonna put cabbage in it. So let's start with chopping the onions and carrots, cooking them, and then making the dough. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna prep the veggies. So the onion is gonna get sliced very thinly in tiny little, dicing. So very little, tiny, nothing crazy, all right? The cabbage is a different story. We're gonna take the first couple leaves off, and you can tell they're kind of wilted and not excited about being here. Then I'm gonna rinse it out real quick. All right. And next thing I'm gonna do, I'm not even sure right now I will use this whole thing. This is about a pound of a cabbage. It's brand new. It's this new crop. So I'm gonna start with just showing you how I'm gonna do it, and I'll let you know when I'm done how much of it I used. So I just cut off the piece, and now we're gonna cut it in very thinly. In Russian, it's called shinkovats. This is what I'm doing. Very thinly. See how thin it is? That's what I'm gonna do with the cabbage until I figure that I have enough. So I'm gonna come back to you when we're at the frying pan starting to cook the chopped onion and this thinly sliced or shinkovane cabbage. Our next step is gonna be cooking the vegetables. We have onion separate from the cabbage because I want onion to start cooking first. I'm gonna put some olive oil from my fancy olive oil bottle. Get it a little warm. And by the way, Eric asked me an interesting question when I was finishing cutting the cabbage. He asked me, what about the middle of the cabbage? It's really dense part. Well, when I was little, I was always taught that part has all the nitrates in it and you don't want to eat it or use it. So we didn't, we threw it out. So the onion's gonna cook just for a teeny bit, just to get a little bit of color in it. And by the way, the smell is already delicious. And have you noticed this onion never made us cry, which was nice. This was a good onion. I think it was Vidalia onion. So we're gonna give it just a teeny bit. And one more thing, I totally forgot. Thank you so much, Julie, for this gorgeous apron. Eric got one too. We got them for our anniversary. He says grill master, something cool about grilling. I think he already wore it once. So, and mine's cupcake, and I figured it'll be appropriate since I am gonna end up deep in the dough today. So just a little bit for the onion. Next thing I'm gonna put in is the cabbage. See, this is the whole cabbage. I used the whole thing. Woo! Look at all this. Pretty cabbage. All right. Lower the heat just a little bit, right at medium. Put about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of salt. And about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And now I'm going to cover it. Whew, almost fits. And now I'm gonna let it sit and think about its behavior. We're gonna let it cook just for a little bit, about 15 minutes. And while this is happening, we're going to start working on the dough. And what we're gonna do first, and you're not gonna see it, but I'll tell you first thing to do. Warm up your milk till it's really nice temperature. I don't even know the degrees in America anymore, but about 30 seconds for half a cup of milk. That sounds like it's gonna be nice and warm. So I'll see you soon, and we're gonna start mixing the dough. So instead of half a cup of milk, I use the whole cup and I put it in a minute in the microwave. So we're gonna put the milk in here. Now I have active dry yeast, regular 7 grams packaging. Just whatever your store has. You can use rapid rise, you can use anything you want. Just get it all out. That's what it looks like. We're gonna mix it in just a little bit. Looks kind of funny right now. Doesn't look appetizing. How about that? Now, so the process starts going, we're gonna do a tablespoon of sugar. Mix that in. There we go. And a teaspoon of salt. There we are. All right. And then next thing you're going to put in is fat into our dough mixture. I know I just use 2% milk, so it doesn't have a lot of fat. So here I have olive oil. It's very slow. We're gonna do 3 to 4 tablespoons. Almost there. So after 4 tablespoons of olive oil, we're going to put some flour. I don't have any measuring utensils, but there's about 2 cups left in here. So let's see what happens. I'm just gonna mix it in. See, right now it looks really messy. You can use a mixer for it, a stand-up mixer. You can use even the food processor for it. You can use your hands if you're not like me, who doesn't really like touching dough. Okay, almost there. I have to put this away with whatever left in here. We are gonna end up using more flour. This recipe usually takes about 3 to 3.5 cups of flour. And I'm gonna knead the dough a little bit, just a little bit. That is sticking to my hands. If you want, you can always put a little bit of olive oil on your hands so the dough doesn't stick to you as much. Right now I have all these little crummies on the bottom, and as I'm kneading it, I'm trying to get them in. Alright, I'm gonna show you what it looks like at this point. It's getting there. It's getting there fast. Okay, I'm going back in. Okay, I just put it on the bottom. I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil over it. Just a teeny bit, just so it doesn't get dry. Take a clean towel and cover it. And I'm gonna let it sit for half an hour, and we'll come back to it in half an hour. But also, in really shortly, we gotta check on our cabbage. So it's gonna sit for half an hour, and I'm gonna continue working on our cabbage. So we're going back to check on the cabbage. It looks beautiful, but looks like it's getting a little dried out. So the oil's gone, but the cabbage juices haven't come in yet. And I don't want to put any more oil, so I'm gonna take just a little bit of water. That was just like a tablespoon. Just so it doesn't stick to your pan, and now it will steam a little bit. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of a steam. That's it. Let's give it another 10 to 15 minutes and we'll come back. 10 more minutes have passed. We opened our cabbage. It looks amazing. So here I have apricot preserves. Yes, apricot preserves in the cabbage. This is the secret element. And we're gonna put about a tablespoon in here and just mix it in a little bit. And then I added just a little bit more water because cabbage loosen out the juices and then suck them back in. So now we're just gonna let it cook just for another minute or two with the apricot preserves. And this is it. This is our stuffing for the pirozhki. So what we're gonna do next, I'm not gonna show it to you, but I'm gonna tell you. We're going to, when it cools off just a teeny bit, I'm gonna put it in a strainer for the noodles. What do you call it? Colander. We're gonna put it in the colander and we're gonna put it to cool off, and I want all the excess liquid at this point to leave the cabbage. So just another little bit, teeny bit time, and that's it. So cool off, calendar, cool off completely, and I'll meet you there. And actually next step, we're gonna go look at the dough again at some point. As I promised you, we're back with our dough. Let's check it out. It's risen and it looks gorgeous. It needs a little bit more work. Also, the cabbage is in the fridge. But we're gonna stop our video here. It's gonna be our part 1. Check out the part 2 for the more dough work and making the pirozhki and frying them. So I'll see you in the video part 2, pirozhki with cabbage.